Monotype.
Welcome to Creative Characters from Monotype, the show where we meet the people working at the intersection of type and everyday life. I'm your host, Dan Radigan, and today I'm sharing a conversation I had with Sandro Berra. Sandro is the coordinator of Tipoteca Italiana, a type museum, archive, and print shop in Cornuda, Italy. I had the pleasure of teaching a type and design workshop at Tipoteca earlier this summer, and I got to speak with Sandro while I was there. Tipo Italia, as we call the program, is a chance for designers and printers to find inspiration in Italian type and lettering history by exploring the region around Venice. We explore the rich history of signs and inscriptions lurking in the alleys and piazzas of Venice, centuries-old books and manuscripts in Verona, experimental futurist design and artwork, and so much more. More important, though, is that the experience is set up so that everyone can take all of that inspiration back to the gorgeous studio at Tipoteca, where they can then make work with an unparalleled collection of vintage Italian wood type, while also developing digital type. It's the only course I know where your first type proof can be letterpress printed, and it's a really satisfying way to bask in history while having the space to create new things. This is actually the third year I've taken part in this workshop, and I keep coming back to Tipoteca because it's such a special opportunity to bring together a group of passionate type lovers, all of whom bring their own talents and interests to the mix, and travel and work together in such a warm, welcoming setting where we're encouraged to explore and experiment, and then unwind over outstanding food surrounded by breathtakingly beautiful countryside. It's the perfect summer getaway for me. Far from the distractions of home, fully immersed in collaborative creative pursuits, with lots of gelato options available. I wanted to have Sandro on the podcast because Tipoteca feels like a secret treasure. It's a world-class collection of design that deserves more of the world's attention. Sandro is so charming and so passionate about design and printing history, and how that can open up possibilities for the future. He wants more people to experience the delights that Tipoteca has to offer, and I have been so moved by my experiences there that I want to encourage more people to discover it as well. Carl's here to preview this episode with me. Hi, Carl.
Hi, Dan. So before we get any further, I have to say, for someone who's never done the podcast before, you sound amazing. I'm getting, and I mean this as the highest form of compliment, I'm getting major Rick Steves vibes. Like you could do a travel show if you want to totally change your career.
Hi, I'm Rick Steves on the wild and western fringe of Europe.
So I want to hear more about the outstanding food. What was the best meal you had while you were in Italy?
The really important question. Well, the €6 pizzas have no right to be as good as they are. But the best dish was probably a roast guinea fowl with herbs and grilled asparagus. We're lucky that Tipoteca has a gourmet restaurant affiliated with it, and we get to eat there every day.
Oh, does it really?
Indeed.
That strikes me as very Italian. So, Dan, what does a typical day at the workshop look like? What do the students experience?
There's not really a typical day because in 2 weeks we expose people to lots of experiences. Some of them are field trips, some of them are days in the studio. Overall, it's more of a creative residency. We bring together this group of graphic designers, type designers, educators, letterpress printers. We throw a lot of inspiring Italian graphic history at them and give them the space to do something with the excitement they get from it. And that changes from day to day. We give everyone coaching about type design and printing techniques where needed. But with an eclectic international group, the magic really comes from when everyone learns from each of the participants. And every day is really this collaboration of everyone who's there.
It's amazing. What do you think is the value of reconnecting with a physical print shop when so much of what graphic designers do today is digital and even designed for screens?
Well, you think differently when all of your senses are engaged in the process. With typography in particular, so much of what we consider good practice is still rooted in principles that come from printing physical type and dealing with those restrictions and those opportunities. So when you grapple with your creative decisions in 3 dimensions, you lead yourself to different results, and hopefully that different perspective you can bring back to any medium that you work in.
Well, I'm super excited for this episode and to have you on the show hosting for the first time. So without further delay, I'll turn it over to you and Sandro. Enjoy.
Hi, I'm Dan Radigan from Monotype, and we're here today for the Creative Characters podcast in Cornuda, Italy. Cornuda is a little town about an hour north of Venice, a little bit shy of the Prealps. And in Cornuda is a fantastic little museum of type and printing known as Tipoteca Italiana. And I'm here with my friend Sandro Berra, who's the coordinator of the activities that go on here in this museum. So before I even try to mangle the name of this institution in Italian, Sandro, can you tell us in Italian what the organization is called?
It's Tipoteca Italiana Fondazione, so it's a foundation.
Just to set the scene of where we are in the building, Tipoteca is a new, beautifully custom-built facility holding collections of type that have come from all over Italy over the years. Part of the building is an old chapel that was repurposed, joined together with an old light industrial building in the area. And it is one of the most pristine ways of showing type and printing history that I've ever come across. But enough of what my view of it is for now. Sandro, can you tell us a little bit of what the formal line is, what Tipoteca is?
Yes, of course. Tipoteca is a private foundation, and it was established in 1995. Who wanted this foundation are a family of printers, the Antiga brothers. There are four brothers. They own a printing company that is still in business. And the reason why Tipoteca is located in Cornuda, because during their growth as a printing company, they occupied these buildings. So Tipoteca is probably one of the largest collections of printing equipment and typefaces from, well, in Italy for sure, but I would say even in Europe probably. And the reason why they wanted the foundation is because at the end of the, let's call it analog era, and with the big switch to the digital world, many print shops was shutting down, closing, and literally throwing away all their equipment because they had to move out. Maybe they were renting the place. So there was a big exchange and a big dismission of all these facilities. So one of the brothers in particular, Silvio, he was, I would say, the soul and the heart of all this rescue mission. And he wrote a letter to the existing print shops that were in Italy, almost, I would say, around 1998, I would say 12,000 probably, expecting to have some answers. Actually, he received back like 800 answers. So he spent 10 years of his life to visit all the different print shops. Who's familiar with the geography of Italy? It's a very long state. So starting from the north to south, you have to travel more than 800 miles. And there are many cities, like visiting Naples meant for 3 days, visiting like 15 print shops. So it was a very organized work of visiting all these places. So I would say that after 7 years of collecting printing equipment and typefaces from all around Italy, we opened the museum officially in 2002. So this is where we are right now. And every year the museum hosts around 12,000 visitors.
That's fantastic. What I love about the backstory of Tipoteca is not just that it's a printing museum, but from the way Silvio and the foundation have gathered everything, it is a real sort of like capsule of printing history of all of Italy that's been brought together.
This is true. We try to show what was the history of printing through the equipment that is in the exhibition. So, of course, the beginning will be an iron hand press, and then you go through the centuries, and you'll be able to see the linotype and the monotype as the mechanical casting machines. And at the same time, you see even the evolution of the presses. So from the iron press, you move to a cylinder press and the platen presses. And up to one room that we call the gallery, where you will see presses that are devoted for the printing of images. So lithography, wood engraving, that basically is using the same press of the letterpress of the type. we try to expose the visitors to what is the history of printing, and you have to think that nowadays the visitors are especially young people that are digital, so they have no clue and no experience of what a metal type or wood type is. And of course the printing is something that is very easy nowadays. You just press a button with print, and so to get in touch with and to experience specifically the world of letterpress printing is totally a different story and the adventure, I would say.
Sandro and the museum have welcomed a couple of colleagues and I and a group of people who are doing a creative residency here at Tipoteca for about 2 weeks, where we're doing a bit of letterpress printing and digital type design as well. And it's a really vivid example of exposing people to how there's still a through line between all of this analog material that the museum has, and how the way we talk about digital type today has its roots in this process that uses the hands. There are a lot of people engaging in this workshop who are used to digital fonts, have done a bit of type design, a bit of graphic design, realizing things that white space is a physical problem to solve as we play with type here. I certainly see that that's one of the greatest values of having a collection of physical material to play with like this. But you've said that 12,000 people or so come through in the year. What kinds of things do you see people discovering in a place like this?
Well, as I said before, most of our visitors are students, so school students from every age, I would say from primary school up to university. So that chunk of people, of visitors, are digital people. And so for them, everything is a little bit a new world, you know? You see materially, physically, typefaces, type, pieces of metal, pieces of wood. And probably they don't even realize, because, by the way, it's a mirrored world too. So it's something that really funny for who is used to read type on screens nowadays. But truly, I believe that is very, at the same time, interesting and simple to understand how type how it was used and how it works. So when you ink the surface and you press a piece of paper on top of it, you easily understand why the type is mirrored. And so you have an experience of what was in the old days, printing books and posters and so on. I like the idea of people visiting Tipoteca to realize mainly two major things, elements and aspects of our days, of our lives. First of all, common people are using typefaces, and they use it in a very common way, of course, and it's natural. But they have no clue that behind typefaces there are designers, histories, artistic styles, history of moments of life in different countries. So I think I would love them to walk out Tipoteca having just a sense of how strange and how difficult is the matter of typefaces and designing type. So
I can see as a visitor to Italy that the graphic landscape here is unique. It's got a different flavor to it overall than what I see back home in the States or back in London where I lived for a while. What becomes clear spending time in a collection like this is that buildings and brands and companies all over Italy are using Italian typefaces. Whether they realize it or not, they're still a link in a chain of history. Like, you can probably say as easily, or more easily than I can perhaps, what some of these famous designers are in Italy.
well, yes, of course, I would say one of the richness of Italy is diversity. So this happens everywhere, in the cities that you visit, in places that you walk through. When you walk in a city, the urban landscape changes because you are in different cities. And so if we move like where we are to Venice, well, Venice we know is very particular, but even in different regions, you feel different aspects of the styles and even of the architecture. And so this happens with typography too. And so there is still both an historical evolution of typefaces that is connected to Art Nouveau, to the time of the modernism, so the rationalist typefaces. And then we have different other designs after World War II, where I would say the international style was catching up and trying to spread the gospel of the Swiss design. And so you can notice this also in the lettering that we see on shops, on products. And so we love to let people be aware that behind every typeface there is a foundry, there is designers. And in Italy, I would say the history is quite easily told. We skip all the Renaissance because we know that Venice was very important for the design of faces used for books and for reading. But coming to times that are closer to us, there was a major foundry in Italy that was based in Torino, Nebbiolo. And Nebbiolo, I would say, mostly designed a lot of the typography, and so for printers, for publishers, and for graphic designers, I would say in the 20th century almost. Some names are worth to be mentioned, I think, because I would say Aldo Novarese is one of the most important and renowned, and he passed away in 1995, right in the year that we established the foundation. And actually we met Novarese 2 years ahead because we were interested to have him somehow involved in the planning of the Tipoteca mission and what we were going to propose to public. Novarese is remembered to be one of the most prolific designers, so he really left a lot of faces with his design.
You have some original Novarese material here in the museum, don't you? I recall seeing a number of drawings.
Yes, we have a portion of his archive. It was a personal archive, and unfortunately we don't have all his books, but Novarese also was very proud to be considered a good photographer and also a graphic designer. So he did this when he was working in Nebbiolo Type Foundry. He also followed and designed basically all the communication to promote the faces that they were releasing under his supervision. So he mostly was, I would say, taking care also of the communication and the advertisement of the typeface.
That's part of the magic of what you can find in a collection like this, of course, is not just type or printing machinery in a vacuum. It's filled with material that was made using all of these typefaces. So it's an incredible collection of graphic history of Italy as well, not just the typefaces themselves.
Yes, I think that the name of the foundation itself, Tipoteca, tells you that we were really focusing on types, on tipo in Italian, i tipi, and so the characters. But of course, dealing with metal and wood type, it is maybe laying in a drawer in a cabinet won't be very exciting for people visiting. So you needed to really complete all the vision. So, and we know that all the typefaces really they express their life when they are printed, and so all the printed matter and in the graphic magazines that we collected. So we have a small library that also helps students and visitors to understand better which is the general picture of graphic design and type design. And of course, typography is part of the visual communication. So probably in the past it had a major role because it was more difficult to make images with not digital systems, with analog. In the analog world, it was really time consuming making all the plates and other things. So I think that the typography and the typefaces had really a very strong role in communicating what would be events or publishing advertisements in the past. Then we know that images are really important to capture the attention of people. And we know that even in the 19th century, typefaces adopted the same strategy, trying to be more fancy, various. We call them fantasies. In English is display fonts. Yeah. In Italian will be fantasy style, so that you can hardly try to put in the same category of serifs or sans serifs, and that's it.
Hi, I'm Jen Thomas. I'm a librarian and educator from the University of Richmond in Virginia.
Jen, you've been to Tipoteca before. What's brought you back to Tipoteca?
Being able to explore and work with the historic wood type here and use it as inspiration for a new typeface design.
Do you come from a design background? You're speaking about it with such enthusiasm.
Well, that's a funny story, I would say, because my background is classical humanities. I studied ancient Greek and Latin. So I was supposed to become a teacher, but of course, in one time, during my university, I started to collaborate with a very small magazine, very intellectual, and we were required, I'm talking of the early 90s, we were required to use a Macintosh to do also the layout of this little magazine. I remember that we was using Adobe Garment. That's the only font that we were using. We were designing with PageMaker, so that was archaeological time of design. But anyway, then I started to really be involved with my interest and my curiosity for typography, and then I started to work for the company that is behind Tipoteca. So the Grafica Antigua was looking for someone who was able to manage and to design books for them. So that's how I got involved with the company. And I was still working for the company as a designer, basically. And one day, Silvio came up and said, would you help me a little bit? Would you help me sending and writing some letters that I want to get in touch with institutions and other printers? So that's how I started to be involved with Tipoteca. After the first years of collecting the materials, we opened in 2002. And we started quite slowly because being in the country and not being in a main city. But I would say that year after year, we started to be recognized and known. It's very important, in my opinion, that we have behind a printing company because it's a big printing company. So many people, so artists, designers, photographers, come to visit the printing company. And at the same time, they're invited to visit Tipoteca. So that was a way to involve people in this project. And absolutely, I think that making this place a place where you can still print was fundamental because typefaces are beautiful. And I would say that the interest of designers to typography increases day after day. And at the same time, I think that the digital world at the same time is looking for a kind of roots, as you said before, a kind of inspiration from what happened before all the digital time. So they're strongly connected. I think typography doesn't matter in which way. Is it screen, is it digital, is it analog? But the language, the visual language is very strong.
Hi, I'm Matt Holmes. I'm a PhD researcher from Plymouth in the UK, working with letterpress and digital fabrication.
What was your favorite part of Tipo Italia 25?
I think spending time with everyone and being able to go around and sample all the good food, the good wine. I've eaten very, very well over the last 2 weeks.
Part of the charm of being here, I have to say, also goes back to a very savvy thought for the foundation of making it a fantastic place to eat as well. Once you bring people to this small town, not only is there some magical type, but what's the other special part about Tipoteca?
Well, I think that although we are in a country, as you mentioned before, we are an hour from Venice, I think that special for international visitors, I'm mentioning like in students from United States or from other parts of Europe, the fact that we are connected to places where you can see very close to us a Palladian villa, you can see neoclassic sculpture with Antonio Canova, you can see 20th century architecture with Carlo Scarpo. So we are in the country, but our country is strongly connected and close to many other interesting things to do and to see. And I would love to mention that in Treviso is the main city of our province, there is an amazing poster museum. It's called Museo Salce that I really invite people to visit. And that collection is extraordinary, I would say. And what I love is that who realizes how important is typography for the design of faces, and so giving shapes to words. At the same time, you can see these shapes used on posters, used on, I would say, signs everywhere. So it's really trying to open the eyes of people about what typography is and where typography is. That's basically everywhere.
Hello, my name is Jared Elrod. I was born in West Texas, and I am currently living in northern Italy. Before we moved to Italy, I was an assistant professor of graphic design at the University of Florida. And before that, I went to the University of Tennessee for graduate school, specifically to learn and teach letterpress. So even before we moved here, I knew about Tipoteca and had been following online the exhibitions and things going on in the studio, and always wanted to visit. When we had the opportunity to move to Italy, I realized that it was going to be less than an hour from where we are currently living near Venice, which was super exciting. So the first opportunity I had, I came here and I met Sandro, who was amazing, and eventually was able to come here and do a 3-day residency to print and kind of reignite my passion for letterpress, which I haven't really been able to practice as much since I was in graduate school. So I thought maybe it would be difficult after not printing for several years, but as soon as I started setting type, it all came back, and I had an amazing 3 days here, and I've been back several times since.
What I believe is one of the most important aspects is that the students that are visiting have a chance to print. So the experience nowadays is fundamental. And it happens many times that kids are excited the fact that this is the printer that I want at home, and not the one that my father uses, my laser printer. This is much more fun. This is the reaction of kids. But I think it's a good way to try to make people aware of how important it is to know a little bit the tools that we're using today and their history.
Professionals who know a little bit of history, what do they find here?
Well, it depends on the age of the professionals, of course, because many started with paper and they are familiar with the Italian typefaces. But generally speaking, I think designers have an awareness about typography. And so here they find not the digital version of many fonts that they know, but they find the real stuff. So that you have metal bodoni, you have neon, you have other faces that were popular, and they are still popular among designers. And I think that what is interesting to be involved with the making of the setting of types, as you said before, you realize how different it is working with your hands and with your eyes. All your body is involved. And I really many times tease the students. They come in the morning, especially the graphic design students. I'm mentioning Italian ones, not other people. They come in, they walking in, with that very bored face and you read on their front, the question is, what am I doing here? And at the end of the day, after doing the experience of the print shop and the workshop, you need to kick them out because they have so much fun. They're so much involved that they really discover a different world. So I think offering especially the students and the design students in particular, an experience and a chance to try once in their life what means printing as it used to be in the past, it's a unique experience for people.
I've certainly experienced in my own background learning design, practicing design in different ways, and teaching many students over the years that working with your hands and touching the materials that you design with leads you to make different creative decisions and finding different solutions. I can see that in the print shop downstairs with the people we have in our Tipoteca workshop this week. You must see many cycles of that as people come through here, as all these people connect their own experiences to this history, this long, colorful history for the first time.
Yes, and on top of that, I also add that working with these type, the moment that you have something in your mind and you start setting, then you print, and when you print, the result is different. But you look, I like that change. So you go also with something new, and it's really a feedback that it's given to you by what you printed, the color. Maybe I would say I really love are the mistakes, the role of mistakes that maybe are imperfections somehow. So, and the world of paper and the world of letterpress printing allows still some little room to imperfection that makes things their own personality.
is where all the air goes through. That's
I see a happiness in the eyes of people when they are spending a day far from the keyboards and trying to be physically involved with what they're doing. So it's something that I think is the true spirit of Renaissance, if you think about it, using your hands. And you're right about handwriting, sketching with a pencil on paper. It really gives you the beginning of an idea, and then you can develop and you can make it, try to transfer it to your design process, whatever you want to do.
Yeah, and the process includes discovery, as you say. Things reveal themselves that you may not have anticipated and give you a chance to go in another direction to someplace new.
Yes, but what I think is very important, I try to keep saying this to especially the design students, that we don't want to be against what happens nowadays. Probably what we just want to increase is the consciousness and the need of a culture when you use typefaces. It doesn't matter. They could be wood, they could be metal, they could be digital, but you need to use them properly, and you need to really start to be curious about what makes a typeface good, why that works, and normally you understand that behind there is also always a process of designing, of thinking, of project that is very important.
Exactly. Typeface design historically has not come from a vacuum. It's very often part of a process of coming up with a solution for the means of producing the type, the means of printing the type. Part of the fun of being able to print at a place like this, as well as see the material, is it's so easy to make that connection of saying, oh, this typeface looks that way because of this, because of this, because of this. Not just because it's a style choice, but our styles evolve out of context.
Tipoteca tried to match his letterpress and type design, digital type design, because they're both the size of the same coin, I would say, So they are both allowing people to have a good way of reading text. So you need to practice how they work, how they look properly, and how even playing with them. So this is one of the reasons why people enjoy so much staying in the print shop.
What are your hopes for the kind of community that grows around Tipoteca over time?
This is an interesting question. Well, first of all, I think I would love to spread and to at least be able to spread a little bit of more awareness of why we have so many typefaces. There is a reason why there are so many typefaces existing. There is a history behind them. So I would love to people, especially in the schools. And I remember when I was a kid, you started to have, you're forced actually to try to do a good calligraphy, a good handwriting. And I think that the knowledge of typography, the history of typography, is the calligraphy for using fonts. So you should try to make people more curious about what's behind the fonts that we easily find nowadays in our computers or online. So the most focused visitors would be the designers. So we're trying to do our best with Italian students of design to be aware of the history that we had before the globalization, of course, that is part of our time. So try to still explore what was before. Try to open some magazines of the 30s and the 40s. Try to see what is different, what can still work, how ahead they were or how behind you consider them. But try to make your own opinion about how things were done and how they're still done nowadays. So try to build your own vision of things. I think that is very important.
That's what's possible when you have so much source material to look at or to play with. It doesn't have to be entirely a received history, because everyone who looks at material like this makes their own connections. Circuits cross in different ways based on everything else that people bring into the building. That's certainly the fun that I have when I come here, is the discovery is not just what has been done, but what can be done next.
Yes, and as you said before, Dan, because we are in Italy, we have a collection of Italian faces that were used by Italians. So it's also a way of linking typography to styles and graphic design of different periods. So I feel that that is an attraction for foreign designers. Well, all of us know very well Louise Fili. I think Louise Fili, by the way, she has Italian roots, but I think she really did a very good job in reusing Italian traditional fonts in a contemporary way, giving that allure, giving that style to products. Many could be labels, could be other things, packaging, design, whatever. And that skill, that creativity of Louise comes from her knowledge, and that is very important.
Hi, I'm Felipe Casaprima. I run Knipe Foundry, and I'm here visiting Tipoteca from Perth.
Felipe, what do you think is special about Tipoteca now that you've seen it?
It's just an amazing amount of resources from different periods of time as well. It's just incredibly inspiring to be here and have access to all of this with so many amazing teachers.
Now, we're talking a lot about Tipoteca, but you are also part of the Tipoteca story. You grew up in this part of the country. What do you love about this country and about this region? Because the area itself is part of what's special about being here.
Yes, so we're living in Veneto. Veneto is a northeast region of Italy. And what I like of my part of the country, I love Italy everywhere, of course, but I think is that we have two faces very alive. The history, because Venice was part of our history. Veneto, the name itself, and Venice is the payoff of the region to advertise the tourism is Veneto, the land of Venice. That's the way that they advertise it. Of course, Venice is known and all over the world and has no need for presentation. But I would, what I like is that the economy of this region is very strong. So there is a big needs of design, big needs of communication. And so that makes more people involved with which could be a place like Tipoteca, because the good thing is that we are connected to many designers that are working in this region, and they know us, and they keep coming, and they keep exploring, and they keep asking us, especially for projects where they have to print. And so I like this interaction, and this is very important, of course. But as you mentioned before, we have one good thing of this country is that we are close to the foothills where they do a good wine that is called Prosecco. And I think even the natural attractions around us are part of the experience here. So we're close to the Dolomites, we're close to Venice. We have beautiful little cities that are human scale, that are very interesting to visit and to hang out. And why not? Part of the experience is food and wine. So.
Hi, I'm Rory Sparks. I live in Portland, Oregon. I'm a letterpress printer and bookbinder.
Rory, how did you react when you first came to Tipoteca and saw what was here?
I was in awe. The collection is absolutely incredible, and I actually wept when I saw some of the exhibitions and started opening type drawers. The collection is absolutely stunning and probably one of the best in the world.
As I mentioned earlier, I've been here leading a creative residency called Tipoteca that a mutual friend of ours, Bill Moran, and you cooked up a few years ago. Can you talk a little bit about what that idea was about Tipoteca? Why did you specifically want to bring together people for an experience like that?
Well, because we realized that design is attracting many different persons in the world. And so trying to do well, to do in a better way what you can really are, which is your nature, that we are Italian. We tried to build up a specific residency and I would say a study program that focuses on the letter forms and lettering of our surroundings. So what I like about this program is that you're not only doing letterpress printing, you're not only doing type design, digital type design, but you're also invited to visit some places that we think can truly be a deep inspiration for your design and for your creativity. Of course, Venice. But I think that in addition of that, we also pop in Rovereto, where we have the Perro's house. So Rovereto is the town of futurism, and futurism was fundamental for the new design of the 20th century. So I think it's important really to have these chances to pop in and visit different parts of countries and probably being in the country, not being in the main cities like Rome, Florence, Milan, allows people to understand that in Italy there are many little towns, maybe smaller size, but could be very, very interesting. I think you then appreciate every time you go back to Rovereto to find out the letters that you see on the streets and the visiting the Perro's house, of course. But it's an experience itself, being able to get in touch with smaller parts, but they're so rich of inspiration.
We were talking on our trip to Rovereto this year about how it was so exciting to see Fortunato de Perro's work at his house, as well as the lettering around the town. And much like every little trip that we do in the region, it's so exciting to come back to the studio at Tipoteca so we can make something out of what we're pulling together. That's part of what is special about Tipoteca for me, is that it's not this isolated collection of stuff, but it sits in the middle of all of this inspiration and becomes a place that helps you knit it together and make sense of all these things that you see.
Yes, but it's very important. You did a good job mentioning Bill Moran, because Bill Moran is in love with typography and is in love with Tipoteca. So he also, we had exchanged our views with him at the beginning, but I would say that having you involved as a type designer, having Rory Sparks, that is a very good bookbinder and a printer. So I think it's also the group of people that we are collecting around Tipo Italia that is becoming very important for how the program works out. And it's really, we share the common passion for beauty, I think. We have a common passion for good printing, good letters, and that makes it so unique and so special. And again, I think that every year we change destinations because we realize and we're adapting. We understand what could work better, what should be changed. And so I really love this interaction between us and this exchange. It's very important. So we try to propose a format, I would say, that is more or less quite defined, but it's always changing. And that is very important because we realize ourselves how important it is trying to give always the best experience.
It's nice that you've given us a chance to have a little laboratory, not just for participants to explore the creative possibilities and make things, but I think we are also exploring what Tipoteca can do as we knit these different activities together and realize what a great resource a place like this is. Every time we turn around, there is a point of reference, there's some background material, there's some inspiration connected to what we see around us, connected to what everyone is bringing with them into the studio. It enhances what is special about the building, I hope.
Yes, but at the same time, we have to learn many things from you, the self. We understand how important it is to not think that digital is something different. No, it's very important that digital can really create new fonts and new designs from what is existing inside Tipoteca as well. So we need to increase our program about having a good focus on digital design. The founder is a person who started with metal and wood type. Sometimes for them it's a little bit difficult to envision what will be the future of places like this. But absolutely, I believe the dialogue between analog and digital is fundamental for everyone.
It's part of what will be the history looking back from times in the future. History of printing, of design is not something frozen in amber. It's a constant evolution.
Well, living in Italy, I realized that Italy is probably some years behind with the digital evolution. But at the same time, I think it's nice to still be in touch with paper, in touch with the ink. I think that it will be always nice to be able to choose when you want to go on a digital screen and see and do whatever you want to do that way. At the same time, I love the fact that any company for any reason could send out a beautiful invitation printed in letterpress. So I think, as I said, the two faces of the coin is very important.
Sandro, what do you hope for your future as part of this organization? Where do you see it going?
Okay, my dream would be having inside Tipoteca a design studio that changes every year. So hosting a design studio inside Tipoteca. So we give to the designers the chance of exploring the collections, and they give us in change ideas, creativity based on what we have here. And I think that would be a very neat way of growing and having this exchange that will be very constant during the time. So I really would love to be able to host a kind of co-working inside Tipoteca. That will be one of my thoughts. This is a dream in a drawer, I would say. I would love to create 2 Tipoteca labs out of Cornuda. And in Italy, I would do one in Venice and one in Milan.
That sounds magical. If it ever happens, I want to be a part of it. Sandro, thank you for allowing me to be a guest here at Tipoteca for the last few weeks. And thank you for being a guest on Creative Characters. This has all been really special.
Thanks to everybody. Thanks. And forgive my English, sorry.
Thank you so much again.
Ciao.
To learn more about Tipoteca, go to tipoteca.it. That's TIPOTECA.IT. Or follow them on Instagram at Tipoteca Italiana.
Thanks for listening. I'd really like to thank Sandro and Tipoteca and all the other participants at Tipo Italia who shared a little bit of their experiences with us to help tell the story about what a wonderful place that institution is. If you like our show, please subscribe, rate us, and share us with a friend. Creative Characters is brought to you by Monotype. It's produced by Christopher Olin and Mia Sullivan. We'll be back in a couple of weeks. Take care.